I'm trying to figure out the angle on this. This pen I got, I'm gonna admit it to you. I got it for $20. Apparently, you know, it's been used since 2009. Probably purchased new in 2009, and it's cockeyed. So I'm trying to figure out exactly the angle so I could show off some pictures, talk about some things that I want to talk about here. Make a little dedication first. Stuff like this really impresses me. This is presented to Judy Weathersby by Mother and Daddy, December 1969. It's a really good thing to keep there. Judy Weathersby's the mother of my two nieces, by my brother, older brother. Is apparently one of the Bibles that she read, and her children are keeping this at their grandmother's house, which is my mother. It's really nice. I like old books. So that's the name and order of all the books of the Old and New Testament with the numbers of their chapters. All right. Now, this is a really nice photo album that it's been in the house a long time. That appears to be my nephew Chance at our 1403 house, and there's Chance's mother with the long blonde hair there. That's Judy Weathersby on the right, and my first wife, Porn Cerie, on the left. Had a real nice Christmas there. I have two teenage daughters with Porn Cerie. That's Jeannie Rose, my father's youngest sister, and her husband, Dr. William Rogers. As I say, this photo album is quite a few years old. That's my mother and father standing in front of our 1403 Post Road house. I'm assuming this picture was taken in the winter of 1994. So December 94. Now there's some vacation photos of my brother Phil, and then shots of his wedding that was in New Orleans. His wife Kim, my sister, her husband, and my nephew JP. Now that's me on a Stairmaster that I had in a tanning bed facility. It was a great idea that I came up with. At that time, I had enough money saved up to get a brand new PT 4000 Stairmaster. This is when they came out with a nickel-plated all-black series, and it just ran like a dream. I had a younger friend that was running a tanning bed salon that I noticed he had a lot of extra room in that tanning bed salon, and he had the salon decorated real private and real cool, you know. So we put that Stairmaster in there, and we charged people by the minute to ride it. And I had a odometer on the Stairmaster that tells you how many minutes it's been used, and then he kept a record of people that came in and would pay in advance. So think about it. You're going to get real warm, possibly hot in that tanning bed at sweat. And usually women will go straight home and take a shower, or, you know, if you, depending on what kind of place you go to exercise or tan, there may be a shower there, or you got a Stairmaster at home. In this situation, it's Clinton, little tanning bed place. People would come in and they could work out on that thing 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever they wanted. Pay for it by the minute. And I ran some specials about people that like to use it 30 plus minutes, and it worked real good. People really loved the concept. Now there's Palmyra and Dale. That clock is still here in a different house. Pretty cool, huh? Keep something old. And that's an old picture. Bill, Judy, Dale, the 1403 house. There's that piano back there. We had to get that piano to make sure my sister didn't get warped. Back then they said you'd get warped if a young lady didn't play piano. Family picture, Dale, Judy, Philip, Kim, and myself. Now this is probably 1993. Judy and Justin. Phil's wedding. Now there's young Justin. And this other baby picture, I guess this is actually Patricia, or possibly Annika, my daughter, born in 97 and 98. They're just comparing the Bailey look. There's Justin, pure Caucasoid, and my kids, Siamese American. And there's Sonny, my brother-in-law at that time, so my children's uncle. Hey, you like that shirt, man? It's a nice shirt, ain't it? It's winter of 95. Now that's me feeding Patricia when she first got home. She spent a week in the hospital before we got her back home because she's a preemie, and everything went just fine. That's me feeding her. That's Captain Carl right there, Holden, Allison. Now there I am, holding my little Siamese princess and the rest of the family. And again, Poinserie, she's doing something with velvet there. I'd never seen that before or since. That's my grandmother and mother. So that's my father's mother and my mother. We're out at Lake Teakata. What a great place to have a gathering. It was my grandmother's 80th birthday. So there's Poinserie and Sonny, my brother-in-law. They really enjoyed that. Justin, little Chancery there. There's Justin again. That looks like it's his San Antonio house. I spent about 2 months working there. What a really nice house. And there's Chancery. I'm not sure who that is. Could be Madison. Now, this is a blast from the past. That's my BMW. Pointree and I had a green BMW with tan interior. Dad want to take a picture with the BMW there. I believe that's Allison, Christmas time. There's Bob Bailey, myself, Bobby Bailey, Poinserie out at Lake Teakata for Nanny's 80th birthday. So I believe that would be September 1994. We just got back from Thailand. There's the BMW. It's a great car. Bill, Judy, Dale. And that looks like Chance with no pants on, kissing a baby. It's a really interesting picture. Alright, back to a serious note. That's those airplanes that my dad sold that, helped pay for a house like this. That looks like Allison and Madison during a Halloween with some dudes dressed up like this futuristic super cop. Are we there yet? Now, I just found this. This is the Clarion Ledger, February 22nd. If I'm reading this correctly, it says 1969. I can't believe that the paper's in this good a condition from 1969. It says Abrams 4C attack on Saigon. Doesn't sound like good news, does it? Sex teacher's class turned into hysteria. No kidding. Deaf girl now hears. Boy, what an interesting newspaper. So go to www.clarionledger.com and join the archives membership so you can read the February 22nd, 1969 Clarion Ledger and have yourself a few giggles. Oh, this is what my family does. We deal with planes. Now, I'm not sure who took these photographs. I'm going to assume my father took them with a Minolta that he had during the 60s through the 70s. He got into the habit of taking a lot of photographs that time, and it's got that Fox Kodak emblem on it, that shows the date. I'm not sure, but I'm going to assume that's 1972. Some type of biplane. Now, I'm not an expert on the names of these airplanes. I don't personally sell them or fly them, so ask me something about lifting weights or karate. I'll answer you a little bit quicker than, what kind of airplanes these are. I'm being pretty frank, just like a realtor friend of mine would say, I love the guy, but he didn't buy a house from me, so I'm probably not going to show up at his dinner party. I'm just starting to randomly go through these pictures because these are really well kept, nice photos. That definitely looks like Hawkins Field because I remember the way the pavement is shaped out there. I've been out there so many times with my dad. It's great going out there. I love going to Hawkins Field. Now we're in color. Some biplanes. Now Bob Bailey Turbo Thrush was sold in the year 2000, and I believe the man finally relinquished the name and has his own business title now. So there is no more Bob Bailey Turbo Thrush actively in business for I don't know how many years, but in our family, not since the year 2000. I've worked for Bob Bailey Turbo Thrush on occasion, things like polishing airplanes with compound and following up with another type of polish, and then somebody would come in behind me with a polishing machine, get the residue off the wings, improve the aerodynamics, etc. That looks really weird. That must be an airplane that flies upside down. Say something upside. It says Sandy something. I guess it's his girlfriend's name. He likes to fly upside down and say "I love Sandy" or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that cool or what? Now, I just real quickly went through some of these photos. We got a lot of things going on. We've been doing a lot of, summertime, cleaning up, yard work, things like that. But this is my first impression of some of these photos. I always thought this was really cool. These big long photos, panoramic type photos. My dad got some camera like this from Walgreens. Fell in love with it, and this could be when he was in Costa Rica on a business trip, in area where cruise ships come. I'm not sure. Maybe U.S. I'm not sure. I have no idea who these people are, but they're smiling, ain't they? There's the New World Book of Baileys, Volume 2. It looks like a whole bunch of Baileys there. Take a moment to figure that out. All right. Now, there it is. Let us handle your poison problems, aerial application work, cotton poisoning, and defoliation. Bailey Flying Service. We sell insecticides. Now, that's a very old ad, and some of the wording may be outdated because, the buzzword is herbicides. My dad once told me, he says, your generation's going to have to deal with the impact of using insecticides through the 60s and 70s before they started regulating things in the 80s, and then it got enforced in the 90s to use things safer for poisons that may run off into the water and eventually make its way into drinking water and, of course, where wildlife and fish are. Are we there yet? This is cool, isn't it? I've never looked through this. This is the 2002 Clinton Park Elementary. Been a long time since I was at Clinton Park Elementary, but let's see how they were doing in 2002. I thought it was a really cool school. See if I recognize anybody from my days. So 2002, I assume my nieces were in grade school then. There's the Media Center, music. This lady looks familiar. It's Matthew. He was top seller for the kindergarten. He received a $25 certificate from Toys R Us. He sold T-shirts maybe, or chocolate. It's a good program. Teaches kids sales techniques and, community involvement, civility. Scholastic Book Fair. Books are magic. Make a wish. A wish comes true. Pretty cool. There's Louise Miley's class and Gracie Harris. In 2002, I met Gene March that year, and I was teaching rhythm kick at 4 different locations around Bangkok. Nichiratani, Sukhothai Hotel, Philip Wayne, the Capitol Club. By that time, I was no longer teaching at Body Systems. I'm not sure why. I just decided to move around a little bit. I taught about 7 locations in Bangkok. Rhythm Kick is a class that I developed from Thomas the Promise Trebitich, his class that is now called Kickbox, that was at that time called Box Aerobics. He started that program in 1986 and certified me in 1993. It's a great program, and he's also a fellow Mississippian. He's been in Miami for quite some time. He's got over 400 fitness products and programs. Now, there's Jolie Ming's class. Now, I don't know Jolie personally. I've met her, I believe, one time. Really nice-looking lady. Mings are a real nice family here in Clinton. Emily Prince, Susan Raver. Now I'm not a speed reader. It may appear that way. I'm just taking a glance, stuff like that. I'm interested in things that go on in the community where I live. Yeah, like I say, I don't know any of these teachers except possibly Miss Ming. Neat little annual. Just found it today. Clinton Park favorites. Shrek, McDonald's, Monsters Incorporated, Fun Times Skateland. Boy, I spent a lot of good times in there. I always thought that place was so well run. I want to get brave enough to actually go back there and put some skates on. I want to have an adult day. What in the world? There you go. Get you some cookbooks on Taste of the South.